Welcome. Hey guys, it's been a couple of weeks. Welcome to this newest episode of Objectively Wrong, presented by the Next Man Up. I already have to clear my throat. As always.
Let me introduce.
As always, I'm John. That's 15.
All right, welcome back. It's been a long time. The NFL draft happened. Did you notice? You should watch our episode. Watch it. John has COVID.
Yeah, I do. I do.
I just got back from vacation. So hope you missed us.
So yeah, it was weird. COVID stinks. I'm just gonna make it very clear. Now, I am not asymptomatic. I am also not
big sniff.
It's going to be a lot of that. I am not asymptomatic. I am not. You know what's funny is the people listening on like the audio is going to think like, is he just like, what's he snorting? And it's just myself. So the nature. This is going to be one of the most difficult, like physically taxing episodes we've ever done because I can't breathe. But yeah, I think, guys, I'm vaccinated and I think that's what's keeping me like, okay. Like that's what's keeping me okay. Y'all got to get vaccinated. Keep your damn masks on. You know, this is not over. It's clearly not over. As I have learned now, this is not over. So just, just take care of yourselves and take care of those around you. That said, if you get it, just be smart. Don't give it to anybody else. Try to, take the right medication, talk to the right doctor. Don't listen to Joe Rogan, things like that. So I am not putting a horse medicine in my body. So I am fine. This is what it sounds like, by the way, 5 days later. I have had it now for 5 days. I have not turned over a negative test yet. The CDC guideline, though, the CDC guideline is they have a calculator. They have told me I am allowed out of the house based on my symptoms. I can leave the house masked tomorrow. And then I got to keep a mask on, I think, through Tuesday. And then at that point, I can't transmit it, at least not as easily. So we follow the experts here on Next Man Up. Objectively Wrong. We follow the medical experts here. That's what we do. But if team went on vacation, and if team went on vacation to where I'm from.
That's true.
You went to vacation to my homeland.
Did I actually visit your home city?
I doubt it.
Possibly. I visit a lot of cities.
Start saying town. I'm not going to say where I'm from. So As far as town, start saying towns you went to. I'll tell you if one of them's right.
I went to Hoboken.
Okay, Hoboken.
Yeah.
This is off to a horrid start.
I went to Jersey City.
Okay.
And then the surrounding towns around it.
Okay.
So no, I didn't go.
Probably not.
Okay.
That said, I lived in Hoboken at one point.
It's a hell of a college town.
Yeah, so there's a lot to it. I mean, it's a town. It is a town.
All right,
Jersey City is a place.
This is not to say I made the sabbatical to Jersey.
Yeah, he went to New York, but like, he's like, I gotta go on vacation. Jersey, here I come.
Yeah, first time in the East Coast, surprisingly, actually.
You've never been to the East Coast at all?
I've been to the airports in the East Coast.
That doesn't count.
No, never been to the East Coast at all.
That's crazy.
First time. Went to New York, the city. Stayed in New Jersey, the cheaper city. It was great.
New Jersey is a state.
Yeah, well, who cares?
Not very many people. Considering I am from there, not very many people.
I saw the Jets and the Giants stadium. Didn't see the Buffalo stadium.
Well, Buffalo's in upstate New York.
Yeah.
It's not in the city.
Yeah.
And Giants and Jets stadium is the same.
Mm-hmm.
And in New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah. You have any questions? Should we get some bad takes from a West Coast guy?
You're a West Coast guy.
I know, exactly.
All right. New Jersey. How'd you like the smell?
Honestly, didn't smell. It was really like a beach city, which is kind of weird because it's like next to a river, but it felt like a beach city to me. A lot of residential buildings.
No.
Yeah, like a lot of residential buildings with like little clumps of towns like next to each other. Yeah. I will say something. Your freeways suck.
Our freeways are weird.
It needs more lanes. And you can pull off of a freeway into a gas station without exiting the freeway.
Correct.
Yeah. That I like. We should keep that. Thing. Bring that one to West Coast.
Do you notice something about the gas stations?
No.
You can't pump?
No way.
Yeah, New Jersey's the only state in the country where you don't get to pump your own gas.
Why?
It's just the way it is. New Jersey does not let you pump. I don't know if that law changed. I don't think it did. Did you pump gas in New Jersey?
No. But there to be fair, like I was a passenger the entire time.
But did anybody leave the car to fill the tank?
No.
So how'd you think it happened?
Magic.
Gas ferry? Like what? Chevron ferry? Not a sponsor.
Oh, something else I noticed. The population of Jeeps is like everywhere.
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, like there were Jeeps everywhere. And I was like, oh, so that's where John got it.
No, I just got it because I got it. I mean, it's not, I drive a Jeep. It's not something I was familiar with in Jersey so much. I was from a town, I'll just say, it doesn't really matter. I'm from a town called Summit.
Okay.
And Summit's closer to the center of, like if you're going east-west, closer to the central, longitudinal line of New Jersey. It's from a county called Union County. Meryl Streep was actually born there. So it's not close to Jersey City, but it's not really far from it either. Jersey's not that big a state, so it's all kind of close. You can drive from my hometown, which is in North Jersey, to the southern tip of New Jersey in about 2 hours. So it's really not far.
We should do a pilgrimage. Like just that area, so we can hit like Connecticut, Philadelphia, and then like record it for the views.
You just said a couple of states.
I know, but they're so
wait, was the second thing you said Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Philadelphia is a city.
I know.
You just compared Philadelphia to Connecticut. And
Connecticut should be happy I did.
Fair. Connecticut's also not right there. It's north a bit.
I know. Like we can.
Do you know? Because I'm concerned.
Centralized location, John.
What a mess.
All right, give me. Let's do some more bad takes from a West Coast guy.
Okay. I don't even want to do this one. I know the answer to.
Yeah, because I talked to you about it, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't want to bring it up. Tell me your pizza take, Ebteen.
All right, New York style pizza. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's completely like it's not even close.
Right.
The cheese is revolutionary. I don't know what they do to the cheese there.
It's the water.
What do we do to the cheese in the West Coast?
You ruin it is what you do.
The crust. Like after coming back from New York, I went and got my favorite pizza here in Sacramento. It's not close. It's really not. Like the crust is completely like if I could just ship the crust, I'd be happy. Like I don't even need the cheese. I just need the crust. Anyways, here's the bad take. I think West Coast pizza is better when cold the day after, because I don't think the cheese hits as well. The crust is still better, but like the cheese in like New York City pizza, I feel like the flavors gets muted pretty badly.
I apologize to the Academy of Pizza Eaters. Ebteen is a disgrace. Ebteen is also a hater of deep dish pizza.
Yeah, I don't think it's pizza.
He just hates it.
I'll still eat it.
That's fine. If deep dish pizza had emotions, it would hate Ebteen.
Oh yeah, but it'd be mutual,
just like we all do.
You know what?
We all secretly hate Ebteen.
You know what? You know how I feel about deep dish pizza? It's how the Chicago Bears feels about Justin Fields.
So rude.
Yeah.
But that's a weirdly solid segue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. What an amazing segue. Guys, we're in the NFL dead zone. So we're in that world right now where we have to we're making content. We have
It's loose.
It's loose. It's breezy. Yeah. It's easy. I do want to throw one thing out there real quick, though. We're going to do an NFL tier list today. It's like a diet power ranking. And we're going to do it live. We haven't done it yet. So we're going to do it live. We're going to share the screen. We haven't done this before with you guys. So
we're going to do that really small and in the corner.
We're going to be very tiny and in the corner. You're welcome. So you'll be able to see everything we're doing. What's fun, though, is the reason the inception of this idea was I was like, all right, what are we going to do for the episode today? Let's do 5 winners and 5 losers of the NFL offseason. We were thinking, well, a winner, bias aside, even if the team was like, well, yeah, obviously. Bias aside, I think the Eagles win the offseason in a very, very obvious way. And Denver wins an offseason. And Dallas, L. And Tennessee, L. And Cleveland, super L. And Atlanta, L for similar reasons. Literally L for the opposite reason, actually. Yeah. But that's neither here nor there.
Atlanta fans are like, we'll hold this L.
We'll take this one. This is an L worth having.
Yeah.
So that we thought about it. We're like, well, why don't we just do a tier list and throw everybody in there? Probably make a more streamlined episode, be a bit more interesting, gives us the ability to engage. We can engage with you people. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Share the screen.
And here it is, our beautiful, beautiful tier list. Completely empty.
Yeah. And you guys will notice we didn't make the icons and stuff at the bottom. So somebody did this and for some reason put them in reverse alphabetical order. But okay.
All right, so we got Super Bowl. That's a team that we think is a very likely Super Bowl winner, you could say. We got contenders. Maybe we'll go on a run like the Bengals did last year. We got wild card, which means the team we think will make the playoffs, and then whatever happens in the playoffs.
Right.
We got meh. It's very explanatory right there. Meh.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be the least. You know what's funny about meh? It's probably going to have the least amount of teams in it.
Yeah.
It's only going to have 2.
Too soon is obvious. They're a year away or 2.
Year or 2.
Yeah, but we like where they're going.
It's probably going to be a team that's missing something very, very obvious.
Should tank is for the teams that may not agree with us, but should. Will tank is for the teams that
agree with us.
Yeah. And then fire everyone. Yeah.
That's where we put the Giants. No, I'm kidding.
So
Giants already did that.
Are we gonna start from W or A, John?
Screw it. Let's start at A.
Let's start
come
at
on.
A. Okay.
Yeah.
This is live. We're each gonna give our own opinion, and then we'll see
debate.
What happens.
We'll debate.
So
do we want to give each other one stupid veto? No, let's not do that.
No, let's not.
Because I'll veto the Raiders into Will Tank just for the lulz.
So Arizona Cardinals. I view them as a meh team.
I could not agree more.
So the problem I have with the Cardinals is DeAndre Hopkins is now suspended for 6 games.
Yes.
If you missed that, by the way, we haven't talked about it. Hello.
We did. He's out for 6 games.
And then Cliff Kingsbury got an extension. Cliff Kingsbury can't win games late in the season. So now we got a team that's going to start badly and a team that's not going to end well. We're going to have disappointment. Sorry, Cardinal fans.
Right.
Anything you want to add to that before?
I honestly swear, I think you just covered literally everything.
Yeah.
Losing a player like Chandler Jones is going to hurt at least for the moment. I'm not going to pretend apparently Kyler Murray, news came out today, one very small report that he's apparently not interested in playing this season without a new contract.
Okay.
Which, by the way, another bit of news we need to throw in there. Jesse Bates, the safety of the Bengals.
Yeah.
Has made it very, very vocal that he does not want to play under the franchise tag. Eagles are tied to him. I do not know how that would work, but we are tied to him. That would be crazy. But the Cardinals, I see the Cardinals as I weirdly see the Cardinals as like the Andy Dalton of the NFL right now. I really do. I see them right smack in the middle. They're a team that could surprise me, but I wouldn't be shocked if they don't. Like, that's where I'm at. Also, and I like Kyler.
We know the schedules got released. That's another episode.
we'll cover that again, mainly because we thought about, and why I mostly mean me, is I thought about the way we did the schedule episode last year, and we know it sucked, guys.
It was a slog.
It was awful. It was terrible. It was bad for everyone.
The Atlanta Falcons, after losing in on the sweepstakes that nobody should have wanted to win, I have them as a will tanking team.
Here's the thing. The should tank and the will tank, obviously, it's a little bit comedic.
Yeah.
I think they're better here than the teams that are going to be, that are some that are going to be in the should tank.
Yeah.
In fact, if I were a team, I'd rather be in will tank than should tank.
Exactly.
but too soon is like, I think they're too soon to be too soon.
Exactly.
So I agree. You've got two of the same exact quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
One's just younger, even though he looks older. You ever notice Desmond Ridder looks 30?
Desmond Ritter's been through the ringer, hasn't he? Like in this draft process, everything.
I'm rooting for him. I really am.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy.
He seems like a good guy. I'm rooting for Desmond Ridder.
The Falcons are obviously have their eyes in the future. Marcus Mariota is not going to win you that many games. That's a good thing.
Now, Brian Edwards, on the other hand.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
That's a good thing if you're Atlanta. Something I would like to say about Atlanta. Did you notice that they're really going for like the big wide receivers that can't separate?
Yeah.
Like all three of their top three wide receivers are big wide receivers that can't
wow,
separate.
all of a sudden he's not a Raider anymore. Now you're going to crap on him.
No, I like Brian Edwards. I hope he does well. No, I'm actively rooting for Brian Edwards to do well in Atlanta.
Baltimore. Backpedaling maniac.
I'm gonna go with meh on Baltimore. I'm kind of feeling down on Baltimore after this offseason. And it's not really anything they've done. It's kind of everything that happened around them. I can't believe you got a first-round pick for Hollywood Brown. Good job. Who are you going to throw to?
I love how they're right next to Arizona now.
Yeah, right. Here. Should we do this? Arizona is pretty obviously below Baltimore in my eyes.
By the way, do you know this is like a weird trivia thing based on the schedule? Do you know New Orleans has the opportunity this year to beat all 5 of the Bird teams?
They're not going to do it.
They're not going. No, we're going to win our game against them. But that's so funny and also incredibly stupid. Anyway, continue about Baltimore. I just threw a wrench into the conversation.
Baltimore's like in between the meh and the wild card for me. Because if the injuries obviously weighed them down this year. Last year. Jesus, it's been a whole new year, John.
Yes, it has.
But I don't really see them as contenders. And playoffs, I think, would take a couple teams disappointing for them to get in. I don't know. Do you disagree?
I almost want to put them lower. The problem is they're not too soon. Mm-hmm. And they're certainly not a will tank team. I would almost be like they should tank because I'm of this impression now that I think Baltimore's not going to sign him. Wow. Him meaning Lamar. It's such an albatross like in this world right now. Like it is the 10 million pound gorilla in the room. Like, are we not going to sign? It's the elephant in the room if we're not going to sign Lamar Jackson. Really?
They've built their team around Lamar Jackson. Obviously, their entire offense is built
and pay his ass. I
think they're coming to the realization that it wasn't a good idea. That's my problem. I loved Lamar Jackson coming out. The man is developing as a passer, but it's really, really slow. Like it's slowed down, and it's becoming a problem for me. I don't know what Baltimore is going to do. They're kind of at a crossroads.
I think Meh is fair on coaching alone.
Moving on to Buffalo.
Yeah,
top tier team in the NFL.
If we were doing a power ranking, they would be team number 1. It is that simple.
What is there to say?
They were elite, and then they added Von Miller.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The Carolina Panthers.
No. Yes. No. Yes.
So the Carolina Panthers are in an interesting position.
How stupid are we, by the way?
I like their draft. Like they had it.
Yeah, okay, fine. But 2 years ago, you and I were like, Matt Rule looks like he's got them in the right path. And fast forward 2 years. No, they do not. No, he does not.
My problem with Carolina right now is, did you hear the reporting that they'd be interested in Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo as long as the price was right, like contract-wise? And I'm just sitting here like, stop. You're trying to lose games right now. You're not trying to win.
Here's the problem. They didn't draft one.
They drafted Matt Corral.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to reiterate. They didn't really. Yes, they drafted Matt Corral.
They drafted a developmental prospect.
Golly, listen, we love Corral. Yeah. We both love Corral. But they didn't they didn't do the Pickett thing in the first round.
Wasn't the Carolina Panthers like the fit that we didn't want for Corral?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the player that goes to Carolina has to be ready. Mm-hmm. Because Matt Rule is not going to be there much longer. Sadly for Mr. Corral, you might be effed.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's the cruelty of the NFL. I am not encouraged by a damn thing Carolina has done now. You've got Christian McCaffrey sitting there who apparently you've entertained trade offers for. Just do it. Mm-hmm. Just do it. He's not going to get healthier. He is what he is now. Get what you can get.
His team is like not even close to being like ready. Like you're not going to be competing in the next 5 years?
They're a bit off, and I think Tepper's a decent enough owner, but they're a bit off right now. Mm-hmm. There's something just not working. It's not right. Sam Darnold was such a mistake. It's only two strapping young men in a podcast could have told them that.
Chicago.
We're the strapping young men. If you don't put them in should tank, I think you're out of. No, they're not going to will. They think they're good.
I think Chicago is actively taking.
I think Ryan Poles thinks he did a good job. I really do.
Listen, Chicago.
I think him and Eberflus think they did a great job. I really do.
If you look at,
I think they're wrong, by the way.
If you look at social media, Chicago fans see the writing on the wall.
I hope
they're actively trying to ship Justin Fields out, in my opinion. They're actively trying to ruin his career.
It is so funny. Like I follow Adam Rank on NFL Network. Love Adam Rank. Adam Rank's a good dude. Adam Rank is good people. He's a Bears fan. And I'm not saying this about Adam Rank, but I'm saying it about a lot of the Bears fans that I see him like their tweets and whatever, because you see that in your feed. And my God, you guys are delusional. My God.
Really, I see Bear fans constantly saying, "What the hell are you doing? You're trying to ruin Justin Fields."
You on Reddit?
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter.
Twitter's
different worlds.
Twitter's filled with stupid people. By the way, join our Twitter.
Join our Twitter. We're very stupid. Join us. Listen, what I'm saying mostly is like I'm seeing a lot of Bears fans that are talking about Justin Fields in such a glowing light to where I'm just like, guys, he did nothing. I understand he had Matt Nagy, but let's not pretend that all of a sudden Matt Eberflus is going to flip the switch. Like, he's still Justin Fields. He'll be fine. Maybe.
He needs help.
I understand he needs help. Darnell Mooney's not a WR1. I agree with you, but come on.
Is there anything in that wide receiver room that could be like anything close to helpful?
Did you not hear me say Darnell Mooney? No, there's not. There's Jack All in there.
The Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati's hard, right?
They're tough.
They went through a Cinderella run. They beat teams that you wouldn't expect them to beat. It's hard for me to picture them doing it twice. I think we got a playoff team here, but
here's what I'll say:
just got so much better.
They fixed their biggest flaw.
They did.
No. Let's say they addressed it. I can't say they fixed it till I see it on the field, right? But they addressed their biggest flaw. I'm going to argue contender. They were a Super Bowl runner-up. I can't. Yeah. They didn't do anything wrong. didn't lose 50 players. Like, what did they lose? Nothing.
The defense
kind of only got better.
The defense played phenomenal in the playoffs.
Yeah. Jesse Bates in particular had a not so good regular season and then turned it on, much like Eli Apple's entire career.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden he was like, I'm average. And then all of a sudden, not anymore.
So
tracks.
Like, if I would pick a division winner right now, I would pick the Bengals.
I would too.
I really hope this isn't a one-year wonder.
I don't think they will be. Quarterback play runs the world, right? Mm-hmm. Burrow's good. There's 4 elite.
T. Higgins is great. Like, I mean, like we got a really good offense going. Does the defense keep the momentum? We're gonna find out.
Right. That it does come down to that. Does the defense have enough gas left?
Cleveland. This one I'm gonna put here. On paper, this should be a playoff team. I'm waiting for how long that suspension is, and I'm waiting for it to be 2 years.
So I'll put it this way. From a football perspective, I would put them between wild card and meh. On the perspective of what they've done to their football team, I would fire every last one of them. And I love Andrew Berry, but I would fire every single person associated with that franchise. That's just not. I'm sorry. I've read now way too much about that situation. No.
Including stuff that came out while we were on break.
Yeah, we're not talking about. Listen, we've made it a point on this show to not address that a ton because we don't want to say the wrong thing. We want to make sure we remain sensitive, and we just don't want to, especially considering everything is still so speculative. But like,
and will continue to be for the next year.
We'll continue to be for a while, but we will discuss something when he gets suspended. When he gets suspended, we'll discuss it,
and we'll do a little compare and contrast with Trevor Bauer, right?
Yeah, Trevor Bauer. Oh my God, Trevor Bauer. For those that don't know, MLB major league pitcher Trevor Bauer, currently under contract with the LA Dodgers, is suspended for 2 years for a sexual assault claim. So, he was put on administrative leave like about 100 times because those administrative leaves in their CBA, it's like week to week. So they just had to keep doing it. And then they had enough evidence. It's like, boom, 2 years. So, we'll talk about that as we get there. The Trevor Bauer thing, that is probably appropriate punishment. Just that's my personal opinion on it. Let's go to Dallas. Speaking of creepy people,
the Dallas Cowboys have only gotten weaker. So I see them. The problem with the Cowboys I have right now is your division is weak. And the NFC is weak. So it's feasible. Honestly, it's likely that they can claim a wild card spot. I don't like this roster.
I don't either.
I don't think you have a winning roster here.
Their pass rush does not concern me one bit. Their pass rush doesn't exist.
I feel like the Cowboys need to go into a rebuild.
I would honestly, I'm so close to putting them in should tank.
Yeah.
Like I'm keeping them in meh because Prescott is the best quarterback in that division.
And they're in the NFC.
They're in the NFC. They've got the ability. They have the easiest schedule in the NFL this year again. And they have enough talent to win some games on talent alone. They are still coached by Mike McCarthy, which would put them in the fire everyone category. They're still owned by Jerry Jones, which again, fire everyone category. But
I mean, Jerry Jones did show the entire draft list.
What a mess. Listen, they have top shelf talent on that team. The thing is, there are people that think there's top shelf talent on that team for players that aren't top shelf talent. Micah Parsons is elite. Dak Prescott is really good. Ezekiel Elliott might not be their best running back.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb is not elite yet. I'm just not. they're not as good as people think they are. They're fine. Meh.
The problem with the Cowboys is if they were in the AFC, I would put them at should tank.
I agree.
They're at the NFC. And
Denver.
Move. God damn it. Okay. The Denver Broncos.
This is easy for me. I agree.
Have them at wild card. I think Denver Broncos have assembled a playoff roster.
Yes.
I feel like the problem is I've said that a lot.
Listen, Denver's got Russell Wilson now.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's won games with worse teams than this.
Mm-hmm.
He's got targets. He has at least a semblance of an O-line. He's got enough of a rushing attack. He's got a defense that's
the defense is the real winner here.
We have top 5 last year.
Yeah. We have a very strong defense and we have a quarterback that's not Drew Lock. That should equal playoffs.
Top to bottom on paper alone, Denver may have the best roster in that division. Top to bottom.
I don't agree.
Top to bottom. Who do you think it is? Kansas City?
No. I think it's the Chargers.
So the Chargers have a great one. The problem is the unbelievable unavailability of Derwin James.
Yeah,
makes it problematic for me to put the Chargers there. We'll talk about the Chargers obviously later, but I understand your point. That's my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson's Russell Wilson. I know Russ can win games completely alone. That's a tiebreaker for me.
Well, I'll save Kansas City talk for when we hit Kansas City. Denver, congratulations on making a playoff caliber roster.
You did. Don't go do it.
Yeah, don't start slow. The AFC is gonna be really tough. You need to hit.
Yeah, especially your division. You have 6 games against crazy rosters, so you got to win some of them.
The Detroit Lions are in the too soon category for me.
Easy call. I love what they've done. I love what they've done. 2 years in a row, they get to draft a player that they should have had no business getting.
Yep.
Penny Sewell should have been a Bengal. Aiden Hutchinson should have been a Jaguar. I just feel like I slurred like crazy right there.
No, you were fine.
I'm not even drunk. I'm just stuffed up. Aiden Hutchinson should have been a Jaguar. Penny Sewell should have been a Bengal. And the Lions have both of them. And they got Jameson Williams with a weird trade.
Minnesota.
What happened?
What are you doing, Minnesota?
Well, when we get to Minnesota, I'll tell you my opinion.
Did you see that GM's reasoning? He's like, feelings don't matter when you're trying to get better. I'm like, yeah, but the other team's the team that got better.
You're failing at both, though.
Yeah.
You did both things wrong with a division team. What are you doing? Speaking of the division, Green Bay. But what do you got? Anything else in Detroit?
Detroit, I don't think you're a year away. I think you're about 2 years away, but you're 100% on the right path.
They didn't draft a quarterback.
No.
That was the weird thing for me. I would have taken somebody.
For me, it seemed like we don't like the quarterbacks in this draft. We know we're not competing next year. Let's go get a Bryce Young next year.
You know what this tells me? It tells me Dan Campbell has job security.
Oh, yeah. And
it tells you Dan Campbell's got a minimum of 3 years, and the guy should. Yeah. He does. His team. We joked about him when he first got hired, and rightfully so. He sounded crazy, but so does Nick Sirianni, and I make fun of him all the time. Dan Campbell clearly has his locker room.
Oh, yeah.
They love the guy. So that matters. That's an intangible. We question marked the hell out of the coaching hire. We gave it an F. I think we gave it an F.
No, we didn't give it an F.
I might have.
You might have. I think I gave it like a C minus.
I don't know. The opening presser was bad. So we just went off that and played with it. We owe Dan Campbell a slight apology, but it's not like they were good. They still should have been pick number 1.
Yeah.
So there's something in Detroit. Granted, the last time we said that about a team with a cat on their logo, Carolina became what they are today. Let's go to Green Bay.
The Green Bay, just like the Dallas Cowboys, are getting a little bit of an NFC boost for me. I have them at contenders. If they were playing in the AFC, I would have them at a wild card.
Okay.
The way I see it, the NFC is 3 teams. It is the Los Angeles Rams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers have gotten better on defense. That's very obvious. There's a massive hole in offense. They drafted a wide receiver I really liked, and you did too, I think. But he's all a massive potential with physical capabilities and not really
about
much.
Watson.
Yeah, they took Watson. I don't know if it helps them right now. That's my thing. But in the NFC, how much more do you really need if you have a quality defense?
Aaron Rodgers claims that he came back thinking Devontae Adams was going to be a wide receiver in Green Bay. That on its face, if I'm a Packer fan, I'm terrified. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of the 5 wins I might get. Listen,
you're going to the playoffs as the Packers.
Who is going to trade for Jordan Love? Like, if I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, I'm looking at this more and more, and now I'm thinking, wow, we were really dumb. I think so dumb that you and I predicted it.
I think a Packer fan knew from the moment the pick was made. I think every Packer fan is like, why?
No, we didn't think it wasn't dumb when it happened. It's dumb now. It's really dumb now.
Very mishandled.
Houston.
So do you wanna keep Green Bay at contenders, or do you want to keep them at wild?
I would have argued for wild card, but your point's fine.
My point is NFC.
Listen, they're a division winner. Their defense is okay. He doesn't have anyone to throw to that isn't a rookie, though. I'm worried about that. They can run the ball a lot. They do. Green Bay does run the ball. I'm fine with contenders. I think they're the lowest contender.
Noted.
There's nothing about Green Bay, right? I look at Green, you know what? Actually, no, screw it. Put Green Bay in wild card. You know why? You know why I'm going to be strong on that now?
Why?
Because in my opinion, this is the way I'm going to view it. Contender is a team that I can definitely see contending and competing for the Super Bowl. Green Bay is a coin flip. They truly may or may not. I look at Chicago, no, they're not, right? I look at Arizona, they're probably not. I look at Green Bay, I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so. Everybody in contenders, I'm thinking is a legitimate Super Bowl threat come January. That's the way I'm viewing it.
If you view it like that, that contenders list gets really small for me.
I think there's a lot of parity in the NFL right now.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of it. And there's a lot more than people realize.
Houston Texans.
Yeah, this is not where the parity is. They're not up here.
The Houston Texans
Giraffe Neck Davis is not up there.
Are in a weird position. The Texans they're building the roster out. They hired a good head coach at Lovie Smith, better than they've had for a long time.
Maybe.
The question they're going to answer this year is whether or not they have their quarterback.
Right.
And to their credit, they did add weapons for him. But you're not really in a position like Detroit where I say you're definitely going in the right direction. So I think Texans are just fine with standing pat for the year.
I would almost put them in should tank.
Okay.
Just because my reasoning is they should, because there's no way they have their quarterback. There's no way they fell ass backwards into Davis Mills. I can't buy that. Maybe they did. I can't buy it. Indy.
Indianapolis Colts cheer for Matt Ryan. And honestly, I didn't like the move until a certain Eagle made a draft trade. And now I think it's a hell of a smart move because I think the division's wide open.
What are you referring to?
I don't know.
No, what?
The Tennessee Titans traded A.J. Brown. And by doing so, they opened the Indianapolis Colts window wide open.
Thank you, Mike Vrabel.
I don't think the Colts are really a danger for anything but winning their division. I don't even really see them as a wild card threat. I mostly just see them as a Tennessee Titan threat. And as it is right now, I like the Colts roster better than the Tennessee Titans. I really do. I think Matt Ryan's the best quarterback in that division. I think Jonathan Taylor is a hell of a running back. I think the defense is better than what's at Tennessee. Like, it's weird. The Colts are going to be the mess playoff team in this year.
I've got such a hot take on the Colts.
Okay.
I think they should tank.
Oh, I think they should have tanked.
Yeah, I think they should tank because I think the Colts are trying to chase the sun right now. The past 3 years, since since Andrew Luck retired, the Colts have been trying to chase the sun. First with Phil Rivers, then with Carson Wentz, and then with Matt Ryan. Guys, this isn't the way to do it. This is just not the way to do it.
Chris Ballard probably
his feet is scalding hot.
Probably had too much job security.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's right. The level of petty that Jim Irsay has to now sign Nick Foles, that's news now, by the way, is that Nick Foles is going to be a Colt, which is so funny to me. I just can't look at the Colts and think anything other than you guys are going to fall short again. I don't think the problem was Carson Wentz necessarily. I think they have a lot of other issues.
My problem with the Colts is I don't think the Colts are going in the right direction.
No.
I think the Colts should have started tanking, and I think the Colts should just kill this year and go get a quarterback next year. Right. Then they got Matt Ryan, and then the Tennessee Titans basically decided to let's be worse this year. So now you have a division you can win. That's the problem.
I'm not saying trade Jonathan Taylor, but I'm also saying let's not get our hopes up. I'm a Colts fan.
I think we have a playoff team that's going to end up being one and done.
Probably.
So do you want to move them? Do we move them?
No. It's fine. You can keep a wild card. I mean, they're a wild card team. That's what they are. That's probably as high as they are.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have learned their lesson. And I have them as a too soon team.
Couldn't agree more.
Jacksonville's basically, we're seeing a roster slowly get better. It's not going to be this year. Can they surprise and win that division? I mean, crazier things have happened.
I'd be shocked, but yeah.
I do think Trevor Lawrence will play better now that there's an actual head coach in the building.
I am so happy that he's got a real coach, and I'm so happy that the coach is Doug Peterson.
But I think we're gonna have to wait a year on them.
It's gonna take time. Urban Meyer did a lot of damage. Let's see how quickly they can fix it.
The Kansas City Chiefs. I'm gonna let you talk because I have a hot take here.
Here's the problem. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna blow it. You would want to blow it up. You think they should blow it up?
No. That's actually not what I was gonna say.
Okay. Here's the thing. I can't imagine a world where we're going to put them below contender. Okay. But they're not above contender either.
Yeah.
They are not Super Bowl. They are contenders because Mahomes on his own is an elite player. The problem is this. They lost Tyreek Hill. And that's a big deal. It's a bigger deal than people think it is. In fact, let's not pretend like people don't think it's a big deal. People think it's a big deal and they're right. It's even bigger, though, than you think. That's a player that nobody else can do what he does. Same thing with Mahomes. But your best target's over 30 playing tight end. You're a contender, but you are not a bona fide Super Bowl threat.
I have them as a wild card. Can't
go that low.
My thing with the Chiefs is I don't think they're going to win the division this year. I really do not think.
Maybe not.
I do think they're going to go to the playoffs. I think Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce is enough to get you to the playoffs. I think the defense definitely got better. My problem is you're going to have to rely on rookies for that defense.
You got to rely on young players. Losing Tyrann Mathieu hurts too.
You're going to have to rely on a kind of a committee approach for replacing Tyreek Hill. They have Juju Smith-Schuster, correct?
Yes.
So you got a quality middle.
Didn't they add Marquez Valdes-Scantling as well?
Yes. So you kind of used two players to replace Tyreek Hill, and you didn't really do it completely anyways.
No.
I think the Chiefs are primed for a step back. I think they're in a transition year. I think you wait a year, they're going to get another like bona fide wide receiver one, and then we're going to see them return. but I don't think it's this year. I have him as a wild card. John has him as a contender. I think. Well,
you put him wild card. Go ahead.
I think the Chiefs are the top of the wild card. I think that's
put him high card. Put him high card. I have no problem with that.
The Las Vegas,
as long as you do this properly.
Las Vegas Raiders, I have them as a wild card team. I don't think they're going to win the division.
I agree.
I think they're better than every team that we have in May. I think they're better than the Colts and the Packers. I think the division got really tough, but I do actually think this is a playoff team.
I think there's the potential of a playoff team there. I am of the opinion that there's two things that are going to hold that team back, much like it was the last 5 years. It is the quarterback and the coach. I understand that Derek Carr has all these numbers, and oh my God, he's so underrated, and blah, 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 blah. The guy spends so much time blocking people on Twitter. He clearly does not have a killer instinct. He has a problem. The man does not understand how to keep his emotions.
Doesn't have a killer instinct. He has like the most fourth quarter comebacks.
Stop it. Okay. He has. You don't have to come back if you played well the first 3 quarters.
Have you seen the defense he's had to play with?
Stop it, Epteen. You can only make so many excuses. Derek Carr is a fine football player, and maybe the killer instinct take is not the accurate take. The accurate take is simple. He is good, not great. It is that simple. He is not a top 5 quarterback. He might be a top. He might
top 5.
No. He might be top like 12.
Oh, he's very clearly like in that 10 to 12 range.
Well, there's like 10 that stink. So I mean, it's not that hard to be top 20 right now. But
I think
hell, Jalen Hurts is top 20.
I think that 10, 11, 12, I think that's the range right there. That's where he's at.
So be it. There is not, first of all, he's the worst quarterback in this division.
That's true.
It's not his fault, but he is. And I'm sorry, you were not just Devontae Adams away all of a sudden from being an elite offense. You went from a good offense to a pretty damn good offense. O-line still pretty sus. Mm-hmm. D-line still pretty sus.
D-line still pretty sus. I don't know. I actually think the D-line was pretty well. I think linebacking is pretty sus.
Linebacker is sub-sus.
I think safety. I think we only have one good safety.
Your secondary is mad sus.
Yeah.
Your running core at this point for me is mad sus.
Really? I actually like the running core.
I'm worried about it. For this year, fine, but you don't have you have no foundation at running back.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have nothing. I just destroyed this. You have nothing a year from now where you're like, my running back core is this.
Zamir White.
They may all be gone.
Yeah.
The entire room may be gone 6 months from now.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Jacob screams New England Patriot. Like that's what's going to happen.
But so I brought in Josh McDaniels. If he screams New England Patriot, they're probably going to keep him. So yeah, I have
should have been offed.
I don't think this team's going to win the division.
No.
I do think they're going to claim a wild card spot.
They'll be competitive. I think there's a chance they get it. Listen, 7 playoff teams per conference. I think you'll find a way in. I have you better than the Colts. I have you basically. I can't put you above Green Bay at all because Aaron Rodgers exists. But I don't know.
Well, I think we should move this down.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I do still think Cleveland's better than you.
I think Cleveland is a much better roster.
I think on roster alone.
I think the question is like, who's going to be throwing the football in Cleveland? We still don't really know. We don't have the full answer there.
There's a lot of problems going on there. We have a lot of wild card teams right now. Not a lot of meh.
I think when you look at the AFC, you see a lot of wild card teams going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of AFC and then Green Bay.
We have the Los Angeles Chargers next.
Guess where they're going to go.
So the Chargers, I have a problem with the Chargers. My problem with the Chargers is I just need to see them do it. I think we got a team that can definitely win the division. We definitely have a playoff caliber team here. How do the Chargers consistently always fail to make
underperform?
Yeah.
Listen, you've got a different franchise
on roster alone. I have them like here.
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah, but this team continues.
Guys, remember Khalil Mack's a Charger now.
Yeah,
just remember that.
This team continues to disappoint.
It does. It does. There's no way to really go around that. Yeah, of course. They've made a lot of missteps. I'm not going to pretend like the Chargers are some team that I'm really, really super confident in because I'm not. But
it's kind of weird. It's like it's a culture problem. They don't know how to like just take that last inch.
They have trouble figuring out how to win.
When's the last time the Chargers were in the playoffs?
I don't know the answer. It feels like it's been longer. I assume it's sooner, but it's probably longer ago than I remember.
Can you look that up?
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah, I can't change the screen.
That's fine.
But Justin Herbert, I have no problems. I think he'll continue to develop. I think the wide receiver, I think the offense.
2018.
Yeah, the Chargers just find ways, man. And I just want to see them take that next step before I put them into contenders, you know?
Fair enough.
The Rams.
Speaking of, put them up in Super Bowl.
The Rams I have as a Super Bowl caliber team. Shocker.
The Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl tier.
Let's go Matthew Stafford.
That's now you're on my team.
No, I've always been on your team.
You know what's funny?
I've never been the fervent leader.
I am the cult. I'm the cult daddy of the Matt Stafford cult. We meet on Sundays and scream about the long ball. The Rams are not as good as Buffalo.
They're not. But their path to the Super Bowl is a lot easier than Buffalo.
Oh my God, is it easy?
Buffalo's going to take hits.
Remember how good that division was, by the way? Remember how good the NFC West was for about 5 minutes?
Yep.
You know how not good it is now?
Yep.
It's funny.
But Buffalo's going to take a lot of punches on their path to a Super Bowl if they get there. The Rams really only have one competition for the number 1 seed, and it's Tampa Bay.
It's probably Tampa.
Yeah. All right.
Miami!
You know what I can't get past with the whole Rams?
What?
It's just that Super Bowl parade where Matthew Stafford's obviously like wasted beyond belief.
And the woman fell off the thing.
Matt
Stafford's like, I didn't do that.
Yeah, I can't stop laughing from Matthew Stafford just turning over and walking away.
Where are you putting Miami? I know exactly where I've got them.
I have them as too soon. But it's a too soon that like really I have them higher than
I have
Dallas
them in
Arizona.
meh. I have them in meh.
The problem with Miami is I think they're actually are. If Tua is their quarterback, I think they're a year. I think this is like a little bit of a transition year. I like the moves that they're making. I like what they've done. I just don't really see them in this playoff picture this year.
Right. I don't view Miami as a threat, but I also don't view them as like Houston. So
we'll come back to them a year later, and they'll probably be a threat.
Sure,
assuming Tua is the answer.
Minnesota,
I have them as Captain Meh. Captain Meh. I think we have a chance at a wild card team here because the NFC is so weak. But if I was Minnesota, I would blow it up.
That is where I have them.
I would blow it up. Listen, the NFC's weak, so I get if you don't do it. They keep on re-upping on Kirk Cousins. Why?
Because they're cowards, Ibdeen.
Justin Jefferson's great. Adam Thielen's getting older. The defense isn't what it used to be. This was a team that kind of got held back by coaching and then also started underperforming.
Yeah.
So we'll see how good they are. I wasn't confident with their coaching hire. You weren't confident either. We made jokes about it. I don't think it was the right move, but they're making moves, and I think their GM had a terrible draft night.
Agreed.
So realistically, I think the way they're going to perform is meh. But Minnesota, 2 years down the line, they could probably be wondering why didn't we start?
You should tank.
The New England Patriots. I also have them at meh.
Fine.
I would have them at too soon, but Joe Judge is calling plays.
Who gives a crap?
And Joe Judge is bad. Joe Judge is really bad.
He is.
Judge
we're not fans of his on this show.
Joe Judge could single-handedly ruin Mac Jones, and I'm worried. Anything you want to add to that?
No, actually, no. Nothing about Joe Judge I've ever wanted to add other than ha 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 ha.
The New Orleans Saints.
Do it. Yes, that is correct.
The New Orleans Saints are doing the exact opposite of what they should be doing because they believe they can win their division.
Yes. Give me your draft pick. Eagles own the Saints draft pick. They should tank.
How do I think the Saints are going to perform? I think we could see a wild card team here.
I don't.
We could see a meh because the NFC.
You see that Jameis Winston video?
Of what?
He got like super excited. He was doing an interview. He's like, when I was a kid, I learned that I was passionate about I was really passionate about football. But then when I spent so much time off the field this year, what I learned is what I'm really passionate about is playing football. And everyone online was like, I want this man to narrate everything. Going from eating a W to playing football. Good for you,
you might have success this year, but it will only be detrimental to future success.
Yeah, it will.
The New York Giants are tanking.
Don't let
anyone tell you different.
Yeah, Brian Dable's a good coach with a bad team. That's simple.
Brian Dable saw Daniel Jones and he said, I can take a year off.
Yes, I can fix him.
I don't think Saquon Barkley is long for that team.
Neither do I.
I don't think Daniel Jones is long. Did you see what he said when they didn't up his they didn't take his 5th year? He's like, it is what it is.
Yeah, there's no one in New York that cares.
I'm just waiting for Daniel Jones to say, would you have done it? I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have upped me either.
The Jets believe that they're too soon. I believe they don't have a quarterback and they should tank.
Agreed. We are not fans of Zach Wilson on this program.
Listen, if you believe in Zach Wilson, then you've made quality moves. Your draft was really good. You're a couple years away. You keep developing that roster. You're doing really good. If you believe Zach Wilson isn't the answer like we do, and like multiple people who watched him, you should get another quarterback, and you should tank. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Go ahead and talk.
Our wild card. They're going to win their division, in my opinion. And they're going to go as far as Jalen Hurts takes them. I think they've made a hell of a great move with getting A.J. Brown. Then they also got James Bradbury. I think the Eagles have gotten much stronger. The NFC is super bad. I think we got maybe a 4th seed, a 3rd seed of Green Bay kind of falls apart. And I don't see them as contenders because I don't like Jalen Hurts that much as a quarterback. But this is a team that could do a lot of damage.
Philadelphia got through this draft in the most impressive way I think I've ever seen them. Because not only did you pull the man beast known as Jordan Davis in the 1st round and solidify a trade and contract for a true elite wide receiver in A.J. Brown, but you got Nakobe freaking Dean in the 3rd. Super Bowl. No, I'm kidding. Listen, I love what they've done. I really do. I love what they've done. They added James Bradbury earlier this week to play CB2. I defy you to actually find a better tandem of corners right now because, yeah, of course, neither guy's the best corner in football, but Slay's a top 5, 6, 7 corner, and Bradbury's not too shabby. I understand he didn't have that great a year, but he's only 28, and with decent coaching, I mean, nobody would have played well on that Giants team last year. So it's worth the opportunity. 1 year, $10 million, nothing too bad. I believe that Jalen Hurts has been given every opportunity now. He can do it.
Prove it. This is his prove it here.
He can prove it. I don't think the Eagles are Super Bowl bound. I think they could be. I think they're higher on the wild card list than low.
Oh yeah, I didn't put this in.
Don't worry about that. Who cares? But I'm cautiously, extremely optimistic.
How many 1st round picks do you have next year? I think the Eagles are very smart.
Yeah.
The Eagles basically said, it's your team, Hurts. But if you mess up, we're going to go get a quarterback.
I'm just going to make it very clear. It's probably the last time I'm ever going to say this on the show because I just need to make it throw this into the ether. There is a general manager in this National Football League who is clearly better than every other GM in the NFL. His name is Howie Roseman. This is not for debate any longer. He is actually better than every other GM. And I'm not even being like ironic. There's nothing like, yeah, he's had some spotty drafts, but he demolishes every single team he trades with. He just ruins them. He ruined the Tennessee Titans. The night they traded A.J. Brown to us, the GM and Mike Vrabel took the podium and answered questions, and the general manager looked like he had just gotten done crying, and Vrabel looked like he wanted to kick that dude's ass. It sent a franchise into disarray, trading for a wide receiver, and in doing so, the Titans acquired a pick where they got another wide receiver who I don't know if you noticed, could not get through his first practice without dehydration issues.
Yep.
Howie Roseman is the MVP. Constantly. You fools just didn't know, but now you know. Thanks for the pick, New Orleans. Thanks for the pick, New Orleans.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are a meh team to me.
I agree. They're between meh and too soon for me.
Yeah.
I think there's something here. There's something that they're building.
It's kind of weird, right? Because too soon means like we don't expect you to be within the playoff picture late in the season, right?
I just don't think they're ready.
They're not ready. The thing is, the Steelers are an extremely well-coached and well-built team, and I think they're going to be in that playoff picture, probably like 2 games out of a wild card spot.
I agree.
Towards the end of the season. If you told me right now, I would take the Steelers over probably Arizona, Dallas, and the Patriots. It's just there's such a.
I would not take them over New England. I would not take them over New England.
If New England had an offensive coordinator I could trust, I would take New England over.
New England has Bill Belichick. I don't care who their OC is.
Who doesn't coach?
I don't care who their OC is. That's the problem. It's the thing with Pittsburgh. Like, I don't care who Pittsburgh's position coaches are. They got Mike Tomlin. Like, elite coaching. I think you've even accepted this now. Elite coaching dominates football games. It does. And I've tried to push this through your thick skull for 10 years. I haven't known you 10 years, but close.
We're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there.
I've known you like 7 years, almost 8.
8 years.
You just didn't listen to me. And now you have to.
So Pittsburgh, maybe next year, but you're going to play better than maybe next year.
I would put them in Matt. Too soon is for teams that just weren't good last year. I can't get there with like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was a playoff team last year, which, let's be real, I understand. You laugh all you want. They played a playoff game.
You're welcome, Pittsburgh.
They shouldn't have, but they did. That's unbelievable.
I mean, San Francisco, I have them at too soon. The problem with San Francisco is you got an NFC championship team here, right? And they've done it before. I got to see what Trey Lance looks like. And
I got to see if Deebo Samuel's still there.
I forgot about that.
I'm going to put him in should tank. I'm putting them in should tank.
We're going to see. We have to see what Trey Lance looks like, John.
Have you heard the reporting?
The reporting's not good.
It's not good. It's
not good.
Cotton.
Not good for your boy.
Listen, I love the guy. If they can't use him, fine. All right, I'm wrong then. That's okay. They're paid to be right.
And here on Objectively Wrong, you watch us to be wrong.
You watch us to be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo not being traded yet tells me like 50 things. Tells me, A, he was less healthy than we thought, and B, San Fran's less ready to move on than I thought. I just don't know.
The Seattle Seahawks are tanking.
Yeah, they
someone should Carroll, though.
Apparently, by the way, did you hear that apparently Geno Smith is in the lead for the starting job? How crazy is that?
All right.
I'd be a fan.
All right, Petey.
Fine, move him to fire everyone.
All right, Petey.
No. Keep them in Will Tank.
It might be time to retire, Petey.
Seattle. Can you remember a team that fell apart this fast?
The Jaguars, AFC Championship game.
Oh God, yeah, you're right. Actually, oh God. All right, never mind. You're right. That was faster.
Yeah. All right, the Tampa Bay.
Oh God, I forgot about them.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't want to put them here.
No, they're not there.
The NFC is very weak. They are definitely contending to win a Super Bowl. The problem is, I think the Rams are just better than them.
You know what's funny? You know what keeps them out of Super Bowl for me?
What?
Ali Marpet and Alex Kappa.
Oh, okay.
That's what keeps them out of the Super Bowl for me. Losing the 2 linemen. Losing two of them.
Plus, Todd Bowles, brand new head coach.
Yeah, it's still same regime, though. Yeah. I don't love that one as much of a take, but the O-line. You can't lose 40% of your O-line and tell me it's still going to work the same way. You can't tell me that.
The Tennessee Titans should tank. You have your heir apparent. You've chosen one.
Yeah.
Right? In the third round.
You screwed up this window. You had the window and you messed it up. You couldn't finish it.
You've single-handedly closed the window yourself.
It's not, and I gotta be honest, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen.
Tannehill is gonna play this year. After that, you should ship him to, I don't know, Carolina.
Anyone.
Yeah, anyone would take him.
Honestly, I would entertain a Derrick Henry trade if I could.
I would. If you can get multiple first-round picks for Derrick Henry, I'd do it.
You won't. But
I know, but that'd be my price right now.
That would
I want multiple ones.
You could open with that. You're never getting it.
Yeah.
Tennessee's in a weird spot. I would not want to be who they are right now. That's not where I would want to be.
I love Ron Rivera, but I think Washington needs to move on from everything.
I'm worried about what Washington has. I like Washington built a decent defense. What happened to it? It's done nothing to move the needle.
Yep.
They've lost their best O-lineman. They now have Carson Wentz throwing the ball.
They made
that choice via trade. They got Antonio. They still have Antonio Gibson. He's fine. Curtis Samuel is okay when he's available. Terry McLaurin is really good, but thrown to by Carson Wentz.
And then also you decided to re-up on Terry McLaurin with Jahan Dotson, a guy that we love. But why'd you take Jahan Dotson?
I don't know if fire everyone is like the right approach for them.
My thing is this team is kind of just drifting into nothingness. I think it needs a break. I need a clean break. And just the fact that they even entertained bringing in Carson Wentz. By the way, what does that tell you about the quarterbacks in this draft? Because they could have picked any of them.
They were that bad.
Yeah, they could have picked any of them. They're like, we'd rather have Carson Wentz.
No, what tells you about the quarterbacks in this draft is that none of them outside of Pickett went until late day 2.
Yeah.
Then you go till round 3. Mm-hmm. The fact that nobody but Pickett went in the first 2 indicates how iffy the quarterbacks were this year. That's what the indicator is. I don't know if I would fire everybody in Washington.
The thing is, they should tank. The problem is decision-making that they have leads me to say that they should fire everybody.
Fair enough. Yeah, I fire Dan Snyder out of a cannon pointed at the sun. Yeah.
So this honestly doesn't look too bad.
No. Heavy wild card and heavy meh. That's normal. And not that many true blue contenders.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the way the NFL works, someone in that wild card line is going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah, Buffalo's cursed, man. They've had their shot.
They're screwed. They're so screwed.
We're probably going to look at a Bengals situation where no one expected them to go do what they did, and then they're going to do it.
I've got a crazy bold late May football prediction.
All right, what's your crazy?
That I'm sure I won't think a week from now when I don't have COVID.
Okay.
The Bengals are not making the playoffs. And with that,
so I have entertained the thought. My problem, my reasoning is, I think a wild card spot's gonna be really hard to get this year.
I agree.
And the reason I am not on that cliff with you, ready to just fully jump in, is Cleveland.
Yeah.
Listen, if there's no suspension, I think
the hell do you mean if there's no suspension?
Bro, I'm getting terrified at this point.
I can't imagine he's not suspended at least a little.
I'm like we're at a point where I think they're gonna kick it down a year. They're gonna kick it camp. They're gonna kick it until there's actually like a result in court. And they're gonna wait for that.
I don't know. I really don't know what Cleveland's going to do. We can't make the conjecture on it. We can't make the point because it's all conjecture right now. But I don't know. The AFC is a dogfight. The NFC just has the Eagles in it.
And the Rams. The Super Bowl winning team. All right, let's do your bold prediction. Let's wrap this episode up. It's May. Who's winning the Super Bowl next year?
Buffalo.
I think it's the Rams. I think Buffalo. It's the Rams.
Yeah. I like what Buffalo has done too much. I really do. I love everything that they've done. I love Josh Allen. I love Sean McDermott. They've done nothing but get better constantly. They added Miller. They kept their nucleus together. I think they did something with running backs. I don't remember exactly, but I think they did something with the running back. I don't remember. Who drafted Breece Hall? I forget.
It was someone disappointing.
Yeah, we'll have to go over that at some point. I completely forget. I haven't slept in 2 days.
I have the Rams. They've gotten better. The conference is super weak, and I think they'll take less hits. Now, give me your number one pick next year. Who's the number one pick next year? The team, not the player.
Chicago. I think it's Chicago. I do. The problem is this. Chicago has a player on the roster that is like one of the league's best, whereas Carolina does not. McCaffrey, but is he actually available or not?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like Eddie Jackson is awesome. But like, is a safety really going to make it so the Bears aren't the number one pick? No.
I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be the number one pick.
I don't know about that.
I think we're going to see draft day happen.
He's a good enough coach. He's a better coach than either of the other two. He's a better coach than Eberflus. He's a better coach than...
Listen, I've watched Drew Lock play. We've all watched...
Doesn't matter. Geno Smith's the starter.
Okay, we've all watched be the starter.
I agree.
I think Seattle should trade DK Metcalf.
I think they should have.
I think they're going to trade Tyler Lockett next year.
They should have done that too.
I don't think there's anything on that defense. I don't think there's anything on that offense. So,
yeah, they had Bobby Wagner, and now he's a Ram. So, God, how stupid is that?
Yeah, Chicago. We had Allen Robinson. Now he's a Ram.
Chicago had Khalil Mack. Now he's also in Los Angeles, but not a Ram. Chicago's just a feeder to teams that are actually good. Odell Beckham was a Ram, and now he's currently not employed yet.
But he'll probably end up being a Ram.
Robert Woods was a Ram, and now he's a Titan. And apparently complaining that the Titans are mishandling his injury. Which honestly, based on the way that GM looked during that press conference, tracks.
I'm honestly expecting him to get cut now, and he just goes back to the Rams with lesser money.
Trade him for a 7, and you said 7 to draft a kicker.
Conditionally. Oh, also, happy retirement, Sam Koch. Well deserved.
It's Cook.
Whatever.
How do you do this all the time? Guys, that was the episode. I feel like garbage. Sorry, my energy was probably not great this week. I will be back. We will be back next week, and I will hopefully be much healthier. This was difficult to actually do.
This is the new loosey-goosey objectively.
Yeah, I'm like losing my voice like now. Like this sucks. this episode was fun and I hate it. Guys, we'll see you next time. I'm not even gonna commit. We'll see when I feel better and then we'll make an episode. How about that?
Bye.